Well, now, with any luck, now that we've got our virtual disks ready to go, we should be good to go for the next commands. Now, steps 11 through 20 involve system administration. So the first thing we're going to do is add a user to our system. And this user's name is going to be exam user. So we'll use super user do. Dang it. Somebody was asking me if you needed to be logged in as root for all this, and the answer is no, you don't. You can just use your super user do command, and you should be fine for all this stuff. Okay, so sudo user add exam user. Okay, so we should have just added a new user. Now let's give it a password. Okay, what do we want the password to be? We're going to make it password123 with a capital P. Now, as you know from experience, when you type into Linux, you don't see any echo on the keyboard, so be careful. And Linux doesn't like that because it says bad password. It doesn't mean it's not going to take it. It just doesn't like it. So let's type it again. All right, cool. I didn't make any typos. So now we've got a new user called exam user with a password of password123. Okay, now we're supposed to add exam user to the wheel group. All right. We'll modify that user to the group wheel. And the user we're talking about is exam user. Okay, so that was step 12. Step 13, check the disk usage of your home directory. Okay, disk usage, home directory. All right, 4.7 megabytes. That's not very much. Okay, so list all mounted file systems on your system.cld. Okay, whoops. All right, so there's everything. Let's see if I can make this window a little bigger. There we go. All right, so that gives us a listing of all the mounted file systems. All right, let's see. What is the next thing we're supposed to do? Okay, so we're supposed to create a new partition called SDB. Okay, so now we're down to step 15. All right, so let's do sudo fdisk /dev/sdb. Okay, now we're in fdisk utility, and so what we want to do is we want to create a new partition. So we're going to put an N for new. Okay, now do we want it to be a primary partition or an extended partition? Well, we want it to be primary, so we're going to use P. Okay, now let's see, partition number 1 is default, we'll take it. First sector, default 2048, we'll take it. Last sector, okay, new partition. Now then, so we've created it, but we've only created it in memory. We still have to write it if we want it to take effect. So we're going to say W to write changes. Okay, it says it did it. So we need to format this new partition, and we're going to use ext4 for our file format. Okay, so /dev/sdb1. Okay. All right, good deal. So we've done it. Yay us. Now it says it wants us to mount this device, and we want to mount it to exam disk. Okay, so what we'll do is our sudo /mnt/exam disk. All right. Okay, very good. All right, so it apparently took those commands with no problem. Disk, okay. Okay, lost and found directory. Exam disk. All right. Let's see, what is the next thing? Okay, now we're down to step 18. And so we're going to try this and see how it goes. And I don't know, I want to clear off my board. Okay, create a RAID 0 array. Now, okay, if we try to use SDB as part of our RAID, we're going to run into an issue. So let's try something slightly different, because we've already used SDB, but we also have SD, C, and D from our last from the last video. So let's try using C and D instead of B and C. Zero. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so we're going to make a RAID 0. We're going to have a striped RAID. Okay, 2 devices are the bare minimum, by the way. And so let's use /dev/sdc and /dev/sdd and see how that works. Okay, what did I do? I must have made a mistake somewhere. I must have got lost. Oh, I see what I did. I left out a dash. RAID devices equals 2 /dev sdc /dev sdd. All right, cross your fingers. Yes. Okay, so we've now created a RAID array. All right. Oh. All right, cool. So there's our disk MD0. and we've done it. So don't forget, okay, I'm going along through here and I'm doing all these commands. I haven't screenshotted anything, so be sure to screenshot so you have evidence that you actually did these commands. Okay, now number 19. Install and start the HTTP service. All right, so we're going to be an HTTP server. I think we can do that. Let's give it a whirl. All right, sudo dnf install HTTPD. Default questions to yes. Okay, so looks like we're installed. Very good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start. We're going to start our HTTP daemon. It's spelled daemon, but we pronounce it daemon. So let's see if we can start this thing. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look. All right, we're going to look at our status. System control. Okay, cool. See here it says dun 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 dun. Stretch our window out a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Okay, could not reliably determine the qualified domain name. Okay, I can see that because we haven't really, this is a brand new Fedora installation. We haven't done very much with it. So if we type in like ifconfig, okay, do we even have a domain? No. Okay, so anyway, we've got the HTTPD service, but probably nobody's going to be able to connect to us because, we haven't really created much of an environment here, but that's okay. All right, the main thing is this. Okay, screenshot this so that we can see that your HTTPD service actually is started. And oh, by the way, Apache, that is the most popular HTTP server on the planet, as far as I know. It's really popular because it's free. All right, now then, what's the next thing on our list? Step 20. Okay, so the HTTP stuff was step 19. Step 20 is to make a modification to the hosts file. So what we're going to do is use the VI editor, and here's how it's going to look. Sudo vi /etc/hosts. Okay, now here's the hosts file, and it doesn't have very much in it. We're supposed to add this entry, 192.168.1.50 with, and it's supposed to map to examserver.local. Now, once you're in the VI editor, you're going to use escape A, and see how that changed right down there? Now we're in insert mode. So now we can backspace. Okay, and put in a hashtag 192.168.1.50 and map it to exam server.local, locals rule. Okay, so there we go. Now that we've done that, we want to get out of here, but we don't want to lose our changes. Okay, so we're going to hit the escape key again, but this time we're going to use the colon, full colon, so shift colon, and see how it brings up this little, now it's expecting a command input. Okay, so now we're going to tell it to write this file and then quit. Now, if we just type in Q by itself, then it's going to ask us if we're really sure we want to quit. But if we do write quit, then it should just take us back out. Okay, now cat. I better use sudo. Okay, there we go. And you can screenshot this. All right, cool. So that takes us down through step 20. And then on the next video, we'll tackle steps 21 through 30.